run for his money. Scott is a wonderful fit for tonight, having been voted Best Dressed MP for 7 years running, as well as the Sexiest MP. I would like you to welcome the Honourable Scott Brison.
It's not hard to seem sexy in Ottawa. Politics, after all, is what they say. It's politics is show business for ugly people. It is great to be here tonight, and it's so wonderful to be able to play any role I can, and I think all of us feel the same, in helping support women in politics. Anne and Brian are strong candidates who can make a real difference. And it's interesting time, we're actually part of the fashion show. The focus is on consignment clothing. In rural Nova Scotia, where I live, where I was born and raised, we assumed that was the only kind of clothing there was. Frenchies was kind of high-end for us back home. My mother and father have been married 59 years, and Mom's 79, we're supposed to be 79, Dad's almost 85, and she's been making jams and jellies for 59 years every year, and pickles and things like that from her garden, and she still uses the original paraffin. That really wasn't a laugh line. It's a wonder we didn't get botulism as kids. In fact, my mother says, and I see a lot of women here tonight, my mother believes that if we had had women finance ministers throughout Canada's history, we wouldn't have built up a big national debt. Size does matter. Now, well, that one bombed. Now, a couple quotes on fashion while we're at that. Well, Oscar Wilde said, fashion is a form of ugliness so intolerable that we have to alter it every 6 months. Now, Oscar Wilde also said that only the shallow people fail to judge by appearances. Now, Estee Lauder, of course, the entrepreneur who helped build Estee Lauder Cosmetics, said that there are no ugly people, only lazy people. Now, Stephen Harper, of course, has contributed to fashion history. Who can forget his outfit at the Calgary Stampede in 2005? Stephen Harper did for, well, you look like one of the village people. Stephen Harper did for the cowboy outfit, I guess, what Stockwell Day did for the wetsuit. But many of you are wondering, why is Scott Brison here? Why did they have to bring in a politician from Nova Scotia for a fashion show here in Victoria? And it's a very reasonable question, and you're thinking, well, maybe it's industry critic, it has something to do with the textiles industry. Or, I don't want to put too fine a point on this, because I only found out today that this was a fashion show. I thought I was here for some serious fundraiser where I was going to be talking about reforming Canada's tax system to build a fairer, richer, greener economy, and attracting capital and smart money and talent, and something really vigorous and important from a policy perspective. That's what I thought I was here for. But no, I'm here for a fashion show because, well, I'm gay. You guys are very polite. None of you said that to me today and explained it to me that way. Well, I know what's going on here. I'm here for Keith Martin. I'm kind of the queer eye for the straight guy. And I'll play your little game. That's absolutely fine. You know, but there's certain things I won't do. I won't be cutting your hair, waiting on your tables, or helping you put luggage in your overhead bins on the next flight you'll be taking. You can leave. That'll be other members of my people. I understand, well, in fact, on August 18th this year, I actually got married. Previous... community where I was born and raised in Cheverly, Hants County, Nova Scotia, a community of 200 people. I understand that Victoria sometimes considers itself to be the same-sex marriage capital of Canada. Now it's Cheverly. Now I understand also there's a gay pride parade in Victoria. Cheverly's gay pride parade is when I go to the corner store. But you know, there's controversy. Sometimes, you know, politicians who happen to be gay sometimes get into controversies. And, look, I thought the whole thing around Sven Robinson and that ring was very tragic. I mean, Sven had fought for years for same-sex marriage. Nobody told him, you have to buy the ring. It is tough in the House of Commons sometimes, and it's tough for all of us, but sometimes there's snide comments, you know, that you hear from across the floor from our less progressive friends. And I remember during one particularly rambunctious question period when Eugel Dosange, one of my cabinet colleagues in the Martin government, was answering a question. And it's tough for me to talk with this, but Gary Lawton echoed Eugel and said, "What about the high-speed ferry?" And I said, "Gary, leave me out of this." I'm not that fast. As we're learning this evening, I'm pretty slow. It is terrific to be here with you tonight, supporting women in politics who can make a real difference in the future of our country, building Canada as an even more progressive and enlightened society that makes a difference and ensures nobody is left behind. And one of my colleagues in the House of Commons, with whom I've been proud to serve for some time, who makes a real difference in defending the interests of British Columbia and in defending Canadian values on the floor of the House of Commons, is Keith Martin. Keith marches to the beat of his own drum, and he stands up for what he believes in, and he makes a real difference. And for a straight guy, he's pretty fashion conscious, and he does what he can, and you know, we try to help. I try to help in any way I can. And he is a friend. He's a friend of British Columbia, and he's a friend of mine. And so Keith